All right, shalom, Israel. Welcome back to Wednesday night class. Good to see everybody. Shalom to Stream of Wisdom in Rochester, New York, in Norfolk, Virginia, and also in Houston, Texas. Our brothers out there, hope you're doing well with the families and your congregation. We're growing and expanding, and the body's getting edified. And shout out shalom to Calacab in Guatemala, one of the founding members of San Antonio since 1992. Shout out shalom to Amiatza in London. And also the brothers out in Atlanta, California, Albuquerque, New Mexico, so on and so forth. So we want to jump right into class. Last week we talked about being members of the army of God and what that takes. And we're just kind of going to pick up on that and then continue where we didn't get a chance to finish from last week. But the title of the class is called Living in Bad Faith. Never live in bad faith. Never live in bad faith. And we're going to explain what that is and what that means in modern times. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's go back and revisit just briefly Romans chapter 12, verse 1, when we were in last week. First reader, Romans chapter 12, verse 1.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice.
It says that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. Read.
Holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
All right, so let's go ahead and break that down quickly because we just want to expound from last week briefly, and then we'll move directly forward to the topic. All right, so read it one more time.
Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren.
So he said, I beseech. Beseech means to beg. So as a leader, Paul is begging as a leader, the brethren. Read.
By the mercies of the Most High.
He said, by the mercies of the Most High. Read on.
That ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High.
So look, last week we talked about being recruiters to the body of Christ and for the body of Christ in the army of the Most High. As teachers, as leaders, as guides, our job is to convince as many people as possible that we can by the gospel to make a full commitment to Christ. And that's the objective and that's the goal. But he says something pretty profound right here. He says what? Read it again from the top.
Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High.
Now, we talk about the mercies of the Most High, but I like what Philo says about the mercies of the Most High. Let's read this right here. Philo page 886 about the mercies of the Most High. Let's read this right here.
Come. The mercies of the Most High give us not only what is necessary.
It says the mercies of the Most High gives us not only what is necessary. Read on.
But also all such things as to conduce to a more excessive and liberal enjoyment of life.
So read that again.
The mercies of God, the Most High, give us not only what is necessary, but also all such things as conduce to a more excessive and liberal enjoyment of life.
So the mercies of the Most High in itself is enough to give us the advantage and to give us the ability to have everything to our advantage. So the mercies of the Most High alone can equip us to every advantage necessary to live a godly life. That's how powerful the mercies of the Most High is, if we understand what he's saying, right? So let's read that again, Nagaha.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Go ahead.
Holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
So it said, which is your reasonable service. Now, last week we talked about four main reasons why we should why it's just the least we can do for the Most High in Christ is to make a full commitment and be fully dedicated to him. Number one reason we went through last week was 1 John 4, and let's read verse 9, next reader. 1 John chapter 4, verse 9, and another brother give me Hebrews 12 and 3, and another brother give me Acts chapter 20, verse 26. Because we just kind of want to run through it real quick on why is it the least we can do? Why is it our most reasonable service? So first verse was 1 John 4, verse 9. Yes, sir.
1 John chapter 4, verse 9. In this was manifested the love of the Most High toward us.
All right, because the Most High, for one, this is the least we could do is make a full commitment to the Most High in Christ, because the Most High already proved to us, read,
Because that the Most High sent his only begotten Son into the world,
read,
that we might live through him.
go ahead.
Herein is love.
He said, because this is what love looks like. Who made the first commitment to demonstrate love? The Most High. The Most High made the first commitment to demonstrate his love for us. So that's why this is our reasonable service that we can do, because the Most High has already made a commitment to show and prove that he loves us. He's already laid down the proof and the evidence as a fact that he loves us. Right? So that's why it's called our reasonable service, because the Most High already put down the example of what love looks like. Finish that, Ahmad.
God, verse 10. Herein is love. Not that we love the Most High,
Because we didn't put no evidence down that we love the Most High. Read on.
but that he loved us.
So the Most High has already proven that he loves us more than we love him. So that's why, from what he's asking for us to do, it should be looked at as the least of what we can do, presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice. That's the least we can do, because the Most High already did and demonstrated how much love he actually has for us. Next brother, next verse. That was Hebrews 12:3. Whoever got it. Well, if you got it, you got it. Whoever got it.
Hebrews 12:3. For consider him that endured such contradiction
Go ahead.
of sinners against himself,
Go ahead.
lest ye be weary, and faint in your minds.
So it says that we have Christ who didn't deserve to go through what he went through, but he still did it. And because he laid down his life not deserving it, he says this should give us strength to be living sacrifice. Otherwise, we'd be weak and weary. But his example of sacrifice should be what we're looking at to make it easy for us to be a living sacrifice. Next brother, next verse. Acts chapter 20, verse 26.
Come. Acts chapter 20, verse 26. It reads, Wherefore I take you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men.
So we're not being asked to hurt anybody. We're not being asked to hurt ourselves. Read on.
For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of the Most High.
He says, because I have not shunned to do what?
To declare unto you all the counsel of the Most High.
He says, Paul said, listen, I didn't hurt anybody and I didn't shed anybody's blood, because I've caused nobody to sin, because at every opportunity possible, I always try to give people the counsel of the Most High at all times. At all times. That's one of his what keeps his conscience clean and pure. And what he's doing is the fact that he's always in a giving spirit, trying to persuade people to think like the Most High and to look at life according to how the Most High wants us to see things. So therefore, what we're being asked to do is not that difficult. All we're being asked to do is give people the counsel of the Most High. That's why it's called a reasonable service. We're not being asked to spill no blood, spill nobody else's blood. We're not asked to demonstrate that we love the Most High more than he loves us, because he's already proved that he loves us more. That's why what we're being asked to do is actually quite simple. It's just demonstrate the counsel of the Most High. That's our job. All right. So let's go back now to Romans chapter 12. This time read verse 2.
Romans 12:2. Looking unto Yahweh Shai.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. I'm not gonna believe you had it.
Okay. Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
And be not conformed or adjusted unto this what?
To this world.
He said, be not conformed to this world. Read.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
If your mind is not made new or transformed, you will automatically be conformed to the course of this world. And one of the verses that we can read to prove this, give me, I think it's in Ephesians. Is Ephesians where he says we walked according to the course of this world? It was cool.
That's the first John.
No. 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 It's Ephesians chapter 2. No, it's Ephesians chapter 2.
All ye.
And read verse 1 and 2. Ephesians chapter 2, really quickly. Ephesians chapter 2, read verse 1 and 2.
God, Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1. And you have he quickened,
Okay, yes, he says, and we have he quickened. Read.
who were dead in trespass.
It says, if you don't change or transform your thinking, we're automatically the walking dead. We just don't know we're the walking dead, spiritually detached. He says, the Most High quickened us, meaning he brought us to life by way of these scriptures. Read.
Who were dead in trespasses and sins.
Because we had no knowledge that we were guilty and we were heavily laden in our trespasses and our sins. Read on.
Verse 2. Wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world.
Because when you don't have the counsel of the Most High and you don't have knowledge of your mistakes, you're automatically the walking dead. You're automatically walking along the course of this world. You're a dead man walking, or you're a dead woman walking when you're detached from the counsel of the Most High. And he says all of us, but prior to getting this knowledge, walked according to the course of this world. All right. So a transformation has to take place. A transformation has to be made somewhere, from death unto life, from the old way of living and doing things to the new way of living and doing things. Completely changing the course that we were on prior to having this knowledge. All right. So now let's read Romans chapter 12, verse 2 one more time.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
It says, and be not, which naturally, if you don't make any changes, if you don't come out of your trespasses and sins, you will naturally be conformed to this world. We were all naturally conformed to this world. Read on.
And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
So we have to have our mind made new. Now, early philosophers used to call this some of the forefathers of early or modern philosophy in the last 100 years call this living in bad faith. And that's why the title of the class, because we're going to explore that ideology or that idea or that terminology that they like to use. That's why the title of the class is called Never Live in Bad Faith. What are these philosophers? They had some of these. We don't subscribe to philosophy manuals, but some things that they explored, some ideas that they explored were correct. They just didn't have complete understanding of how the mind works, how sin invades the mind, and how we're on a cycle of negativity if we don't become enlightened by the scriptures. They're just not fully informed. But a lot of their research has some truth. And what they call living in bad faith is when we're in need of a reinvention because of the things that we tell ourselves. We need reinvention because of the things the thoughts that we meditate upon. So he says, read it again in verse 2.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
So there's a need to renew the mind. Now, according to philosophers in their studies, they say many people live in bad faith. What does that mean? One of the examples of bad faith is a can't-do attitude. I cannot do something. I'm in a situation where I have no ability and no power, and I'm powerless to change or alter my condition. This is one aspect of what it means to live in bad faith. I'm powerless over the circumstance and the condition that I'm in. I have no choice but to think the way I think. I have no choice but to do the things that I do because I have no control, no power, and no ability to alter my circumstance. This is one aspect of living in bad faith. This is one demonstration. Another one is I have limited control over things that are pressing me, and I am not free to make other decisions. I have limited control over the things that are pressing me, and I have no freedom to alter my decisions. Same thing similar to number one, as far as being powerless, having no control over my situation. Number three is I live passively, allowing myself to believe that nothing can change or be done. So because I have this idea that nothing's ever going to change, and no matter what I do, it's not going to work anyway. So I live life passively. What that means is whatever happens, happens. Because I can't change anything anyway. So whatever's gonna become of the situation, let it be whatever it's gonna be. It is what it is. That's a passive mentality, because I've accepted the fact in my mind mentally that nothing's gonna change anyway. Even if I try, I'm still gonna fail. So why even try? Why even do? Why even put forth an effort, because nothing's going to work anyway? Or I'm too far gone, it's too late for me. So no matter what you say or no matter what you offer, it's not going to work. I can't see how this is going to help me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's a popular way of thinking. There's a lot of music that push that same message.
No, absolutely. But this is why, that's why I said we don't subscribe to reading philosophical manuals. We read the scriptures. But from what they study, from what they their case studies and the people that they interview and sit down with, there is some truth to these ideas. Because we also know that there's nothing new under the sun. So the same thoughts that people have today are the same thoughts that people had before. Those thoughts are, no matter what I do, I cannot change, alter my decision. I'm powerless in my decision. There's nothing that I can do that's going to alter my decision. So I'm just going to let life dictate and have power over me, because I don't have power over it. So I don't have any control. I don't have any control. So number three is living passively, allowing myself to believe nothing can change or be done. Number four is that when I express a lack of control over the situation, circumstance, or over my thoughts, I've tried changing my thoughts. I've tried to make attempts to be a better person. So number four is when I express a lack of control over myself and my thoughts, it's one of the main keys to a person beginning to be unhappy. It's one of the main keys to a person beginning to be unhappy. It's the key to unhappiness is when you start telling yourself thoughts that are not progressive. When you start telling yourself thoughts that are not positive. When you start telling yourself thoughts of things that are not possible. When you start telling yourself things are not going to change because I've already tried to change things and nothing's changed. Or I can't become a better person, or there's no hope for me. When you start thinking this way, you are opening up the door, and these are the keys to unhappiness. So are the philosophers wrong? Do not a lot of people have this idea that they're powerless and they have no control, no freedom, and there's no hope to alter their situation or the condition that they're in? How many people believe they're in a situation that's unchanging no matter what I do? Or no matter what effect that I have on the situation, it's always going to be the cup is half empty.
The words outcome. Pessimistic.
I'm going to be pessimistic.
Yeah.
And we have classes on optimism and pessimism. But this is the state of mind that a lot of people exist in that is the beginning to their unhappiness. It's the unhopeful, impossible, derogatory, things never worked out for me. Maybe they work better for you. Maybe your situation is better than mine. Maybe I don't deserve anything better. It's what people tell themselves is what these philosophers are explaining is the keys of unhappiness. And they call this living in bad faith. Is when I meditate upon these particular types of thoughts. when I ruminate on these particular type of thinking of where no matter what I do, it's not going to work anyway. I tried, I can't defeat and overcome this particular situation that I'm in, or I've tried changing and I don't see any progress, or I've been this way for a long time. I doubt that I'll ever change. So if I meditate on the impossible, there is no wonder and there is no amazement of why I'm so unhappy. There is a relationship between unhappiness and meditating on the impossible. They go together. That's a match made in hell, really. It's really living in hell because you don't think of what can be done. You can't see what is possible. And because too many people meditate on this is what they call living in bad faith. It's also living in bad faith also, just to add this point on, is to take no responsibility for my actions at all. They also call this living in bad faith. You got pen and paper, write it down. Is to take no responsibility. None whatsoever. I take no responsibility. Let me read it again. To take no responsibility for my actions at all by holding on to ideas that I have no choice but to be the way I am. I have no power or control to change me or my situation. That is the additional aspect of what it means psychologically to live in bad faith. It's what you tell yourself. A lot of things that are issues with us in our situation is simply because of what we tell ourselves. If we tell ourselves what's not possible, what can't be done, then we're not going to take ownership of the fact that I quit. Or we're not going to take ownership of making changes. And we'll get more into it. We'll get more into this point. But we got to explore this idea. Is this mentality, is this thought process in the Bible? So we have to go to John chapter 5, and we're going to start at verse 1. Because we're going to just bring out the philosopher's perspective, but to see if it has biblical truth. Because the Most High gives us more insight than just what he gives the regular medical field. Let's get that. St. John, who got it? St. John chapter 5, verse 1.
St. John chapter 5 and verse 1. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem. Now, there is at Jerusalem, by the sheep market, a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue, Bethsaida, having 5 portions.
Go ahead.
And these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the movement of the water.
Stop. Read that part one more time. What was sitting at the pool of the 5 porches? Well, who was sitting at the pool?
And these lay a great multitude.
It said there was a whole lot of people. We didn't even count them. We just said, man, this pool was filled with people in what condition?
Of impotent folk.
Impotent means powerless. People that don't have any power. These people are impotent, meaning they don't have power over their members. Whether it be they were handicapped, whether it be that they were crippled, whether it be that they were paralyzed, whether it be that they had some sort of paralysis or they just had undeveloped limbs, but they were powerless in their physical abilities. They're impotent. Potent means powerful. Impotent means obviously without power. They didn't have no power over their situation. He says, at this pool lay a bunch of people that were powerless. And what else? Impotent. And what else?
Of blind.
Blind. People that couldn't see was at the pool. What else?
Halt.
Halt meaning they were missing limbs. They were missing limbs. They're either by way of losing it by accident or just born that way without being fully developed in their limbs. Read.
Withered.
They were paralyzed somewhere. Atrophy set in on the limbs. Either paraplegic or quadriplegic. Paralyzed from the waist down or paralyzed from the neck down. They were withered. What else?
Waiting for the moving of the water.
And they were all at the pool waiting for the moving of the water. Why is that so important? Read on.
For an angel went down at a certain season.
It says because at a particular season, at a particular time of year, an angel from the Most High will come down. Read on.
Into the pool.
And the angel will come down and into the pool, splash down in the pool. Read on.
And trouble the water.
And when the water began to move, when the people saw that the water started to move, they knew that the angel was in the water. When the water started to move. Read on.
Whosoever then first.
And this is first come, first served. So after the angel splashed down in the water, the first person out of the blind, out of the handicapped, out of the paralyzed, out of the powerless people, the first person that did what?
Says, after the troubling of the water stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had.
It says, and in an instant, whoever was the first to get in after that angel ruffled that water, whether you were blind, you were instantly able to see. Whether you were paralyzed, you were instantly able to walk. Whether you were handicapped, you were able to move. When you were powerless, you now have power. Instant change, but it was first come, first served. That means you had to be waiting for that water to move. That means you almost had. You ever seen people?
Black Friday?
Person. Black Friday.
The 2 days,
Man,
2 days straight out.
don't let no Jordans come out. It'll be stabbings in the line. It'll be shootouts in the line. It'll be fights in the line. Cause don't let no Jordans come out and be Foot Locker. They'll be at the mall all day. And if you in line first, they ain't gonna jack you, steal from you, or they're willing to buy them from you if you got the last one. Yeah. If you got the right size from like size 9 to 11, 9 to 12, you can flip them Jordans at that. You can buy them for $250 and sell them right there for $700 just from being first in line. But people know the power of being first. They know the power of being ready. They know the power of anticipation. I can't wait for this to come because this is my opportunity. This is my chance. Here it is. My healing is right here at the water.
But they put themselves in the position.
They put themselves in a position.
A lot of us don't even if we're not first, are we even putting ourselves in position?
You know what the old saying is, if you're not first, you're last.
Exactly.
Michael Phelps said he only count 7 of his, or 5 of his medals. He won 23. He don't count the 5 he won.
Why don't he count the 5?
Because he wasn't first.
Because he wasn't first. Because what he said, if they're not gold medals, they don't count.
Matter. They ain't going.
He don't count the silver medals.
You don't count silver. Silver, bronze don't count.
Silver and bronze don't count.
He had 28 and 32 medals.
Well, give them away then if they don't count.
Yeah,
He ain't gonna do that.
they count a little bit.
They count a little bit. But yes, sir.
He didn't even give us time. He said at a certain season.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
That means you gotta be ready.
Yeah.
Like he ain't about to tell you, I'm gonna pull up next year. Make sure y'all buy that water by next year around this time. It's at a certain season.
You know why? People wouldn't come out until they knew it was time.
And some people are always ready.
People operate at their own convenience.
Yeah.
People will say, if I knew a time and date, then why do you think Christ ain't tell us the Most ain't tell us when Christ's coming back?
So we'll wait last minute.
Because we'll wait till the last minute. If we knew Christ was coming back tomorrow, we'll be
fast right now.
We'll be living our life, and then everybody gonna show up when they know Christ. If everybody know Christ coming back tomorrow,
Everybody be holy.
Everybody be holy for that day. Be ready. But
The purge all the way up until then. Huh?
you know what? I still got weed in my system.
Yeah.
I still got all kind of things. I still got my vice on me. But you know what? I'm here. I showed
Be
up.
ready tomorrow.
I'm ready. But the scripture said, "Blessed that servant when his Lord cometh, find so well." Start doing so. The blessing is for the servants that's been occupied in the waiting, that's been occupied in the preparation. So he said, at a certain season, this angel come down, and whoever get it in it first, he said that person is healed. Read on.
He says, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had.
So read on.
And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years.
It said this man has had this sickness for how long?
38 years.
How many of us have had a disease, an illness, a vice, or an addiction, or a problem for 38 years? How many of us have not overcome our particular weaknesses or our particular diseases? He said this man had been in this situation for how long?
38 years.
Read.
When Yahushua saw him lie.
It says when Yahushua saw him laying down with this long-term sickness, read.
And knew that he had been now a long time in that case.
He said Christ knew that man had been in that case for a long time. A lot of times when sicknesses, there's a terminology for when sicknesses are embedded in a person for a long time. That word, by definition, let's get the definition of it. That word is inveterate. That word is inveterate. Get the definition of 1828 of that word inveterate. Inveterate. INV.
INVETERATE.
All right, inveterate. Read.
Inveterate. It says old.
It says when a person has a sickness and they've been fighting this sickness or this weakness for how long? For a long time. That means I've grown old with my disease. Me and my disease have been together for a long time. Christ said he knew that man had been in that situation for 38 years. That man had been stuck in that situation without change, without healing, without help, without therapy for 38 years, with no change of his condition. A lot of people got inveterate issues. A lot of us have issues that we haven't overcome, that we still fighting with, and we're getting older. The only thing that's passing is time, but we ain't getting no healing. We're not making no changes. Read on.
It says long established.
It says inveterate means long, means old or long established. I mean, I may have a weakness that's been with me for a very long time. And if you have a weakness.
So it's almost permanent. It's almost like thoroughly ingrained and it's consistent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's constant. It's consistent. And it's not broken. It's unyielding. Some people have these things. A lot of us, many of us have and fight and deal with long-standing problems that we haven't fixed, that we haven't healed from, or we're still weak to. What else you got?
It says deep rooted.
It says deep rooted. What does that mean? That means we may have a disease that's hard to shake.
That's why a philosopher can see it.
Yeah.
And like we're saying, philosophers, you were breaking out philosophers and how they were trying to solve issues. Problems are easy to see. Anybody can see a problem.
You look at it long enough.
Anybody can see a problem. You don't take the Bible to see a problem. Your life's not working. There's a problem. Most High's not blessing. There's a problem. You can't get past you. There's a problem. I'm never motivated. Do you need a Bible to see that?
Well, the question is, how long have you had this problem?
Calm.
The question is, how long have you been dealing with this situation?
Calm.
And why is it taking so long to overcome it? Or why haven't you, after all this time, overcome it?
That's the real question.
Yes, sir.
If there's an infirmity and you put yourself in a position or a place where you feel comfortable, if you get out of that place, you won't feel right. Or if you have a vice and you get away from the vice, you get sick, you're still uncomfortable.
Yeah. Meaning, you can expound on it.
That's the deeply rooted part.
Yeah.
Like, if you uproot something and you feel out of place.
You don't know where you are.
You know, I have an example that I used to watch this show. I think it was called The Hoarders. And what they would do is they would clean out these hoarders' houses, like they're filled to the brim of boxes and all types of trash.
Oh, we run into hoarders.
Oh, we know how that is.
Yeah, we run into hoarders by way of business that we do.
Huh?
That we do. Huh?
Well, this particular house that I'm thinking of right now, it was so bad that trash flows out the house when you open the door. So you had to step on top of trash, and you might walk on like 3 feet. You almost hitting the ceiling because of how high you got crawled through the mountain. But they cleaned this person's house, and then like a month later, they came back to do a little health check, health review, and it was back to the hoarding again. And what the lady said is, I just feel more comfortable with my things around.
Yeah.
I gotta have these things around me because if not, I feel different. I feel not like me.
A lot of times they're insulating themselves because of trauma, pain, or they've been hurt. So they feel secure when they got the stuff around them.
Yeah.
We've been in many houses that's filled with clutter. But psychologically, there's a defect psychologically in that person's mind frame for them to think that that's okay to live life in that in that situation. It was an older lady that just died within the last 2 years. She fell behind the clutter and she couldn't get out, and she died behind the boxes. And it wasn't months. She was in the rubble for months. And all she did was trip and fall in the clutter. And she couldn't get out.
She couldn't get out.
She couldn't get out of her own clutter. Buried in her own house. By her own mess. And they found the body decomposed. And all she did was fall. And was stuck. So, in your point that you're making, yeah, there's reasons why people do what they do. There's reasons why people have the thought process they have. But the question is, why haven't we overcome these things that have been deep rooted? Why is it still an issue for me? Yes, sir.
Sometimes we can feel these long-standing issues. We can feel trapped in the circumstance.
Yeah.
We can feel
Trapped means powerless. Yeah. I don't have no control. I'm just subject to my environment. I'm subject to my environment and my condition. There's nothing that I can do to change this. I ain't got no power. I'm hopeless. So Christ is looking at this man, and he realized this man been here for a long time. Man, you've had this disease for a long time. You've been in this situation for 38 years. That means for 38 years you've been coming to this porch. For 38 years you always at this porch. You've been at the place where you could have been healed for 38 years.
Always miss the season of change.
And you always miss the opportunity. The angel come down and do his job. But you never get in the water. He said, so we understand that there's a lot of issues, a lot of diseases, a lot of vices, a lot of sins, a lot of negative thoughts that we carry. They are inveterate. They are deep rooted. Let's get more of that definition. I got you. Let's get more of that definition.
Firmly established.
He said, damn, there's some issues that we have that are firmly established. That means to be firm, it means to be strong, to be fixed. That means, hey man, this problem ain't going nowhere. This problem ain't moving. And we live with issues that are firmly established. We live with issues that are deep rooted. Read on.
It says, firmly established by long continuance.
It says by what?
By long continuance.
The word itself means it's deep rooted or firmly established by long continuance. That's what we're reading in the Bible when we read about this man at the pool. This man has issues. He has problems. He has a disease, and he's been there for 38 years, and that disease ain't going nowhere. Read on.
Obstinate.
Stubborn.
Yes.
Because that's what obstinate means. Stubborn. Read on.
It says, used of evils as an inveterate disease.
It says, as in what?
As an inveterate disease.
That's what we're reading about. Verse 6.
Verse 6.
Hold on 1 second. Read.
God. It
What you
says,
got? You got what you got? You got a verse?
No, it's just on the same point.
Yeah.
It's just the environment that the angel will come there faithful.
Yeah.
That means the healing environment was always there.
It was always
He never took advantage of it.
yeah.
But sometimes you want to blame God as if healing is not there, but it is.
That
But we don't take.
change is always around the corner.
Yeah.
Change is always available. The problem is, how deep is the disease? How deep is the issue that you deal with? How strong and fixated is the vice and the weakness to where it has power over your life and you don't have any power over it? That means I'm defeated by the disease.
Yeah.
Read verse 6.
verse 6.
Who got it?
It says, when Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, wilt thou be made whole?
Why did Christ ask him the question, will you be made whole? Why didn't Christ just say, be healed, my son? Be healed, my daughter.
You're healed.
Let me take you out of your misery and heal you. Let me take this pain away from you. Let me take this issue away from you. Let me take this problem that you've been fighting for a long time away from you. Let me take away the pain of your disease and the discomfort of your situation. Let me take away all the suffering that you're feeling. This is Christ speaking. Why would Christ tell this man, will thou be whole, and ask him a question?
Is your mind ready?
Is your mind ready? But what else? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want
Say it again.
it. Yeah, I want
You got to want what?
it.
You got to want to be healed. You know what that means? That means change has to come from you. And you have more power than you think you do. You actually have more control over your weaknesses, your diseases, and your vices than you think you do. Your diseases and your issues don't have as much control over you as you think they do. But if you tell yourself, I have no control. If I tell myself I'm powerless, if I tell myself there's nothing I can do to alter my condition, I'm just stuck.
Stuff like this.
It's permanent, or it's long-standing, or it's deep-rooted, or nothing's going to change anyway. I've already tried and I failed, so I'm just going to be who I am. It's in my blood.
Is that a part of slothfulness? Or is it?
It's everything. But we got to analyze. We got to analyze what it is. And philosophers, what they call it is living in bad faith. I could see it. They just don't pull the scriptures. That's the wrong thing.
Even the philosophers say you don't have any faith.
Even the philosophers can understand. Yeah, this guy ain't living in bad faith.
Where's your faith?
Well, he got no faith. But they just don't read the
I never
Bible.
read the Bible. That's true.
They just don't bring. There's evidence in the Bible of people that live in bad faith.
Yeah.
Remember what living in bad faith is, by definition of modern philosophy. Can't do attitude. I can't change my condition. I'm powerless in this life. I have limited control over the things that are pressing against me. I have no freedom to make choices. I'm living passively, allowing myself to believe that nothing can change or be done. And when I express the lack of control over myself and my thoughts, it's the key to unhappiness. It's all the things that they describe. And we only just taking a piece of what they say just to expand it under a microscope with the Bible. And to find out if this thought process is actually what gets the best of people. Does this thought process, does it still plague people to this day? Is there evidence that this thought process still exists? Is there evidence that people still believe there's nothing that they can do to change their situation? Or they're stuck like this forever? I'm just weak to this. I'm weak to this device and there's no control. Or I'm just permanently stuck in this condition. Is that valid today? So read that again in verse 6.
Verse 6 says, when Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case. He said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole?
He didn't heal him. He asked him a question. Will you be healed? Will you be healed? You know what it shows? That there's options. And if there's options, that means there's choices. With options, there's choices. So a lot of people are in the condition that they're in because they tell themselves that they don't have any choices. They tell themselves that there's nothing they can do. But what Christ is showing is, as long as you have options, you have choices. That means you can be whole. You can be healed. Right or wrong. There's options. And as long as there's an option, you can make a choice. Because a lot of people don't think they have choices. Yes, you do. Because as many as people that say that they can't do something, there's people that say they can do something. There's people that say they will do something. When there's many people that say I'm a victim of circumstance, there's people that says, yes, I was a rose that grew from the concrete.
Yeah.
I was in this circumstance, but I grew out of it. That means we all have choices. That means none of our conditions, none of the things that plague us, none of our weaknesses, none of our diseases are permanent. They're all choices. Weakness is a choice. Disease is a choice. Vices are a choice. Addictions are a choice. At any point in time, when you're ready to change your mind, you're ready to be healed. You can be healed at the day you decide to change. Everybody has that power. They just don't know it. They just don't tell themselves that they have that power. Verse 7.
Verse 7. The impotent man answered him, Sir.
What was his answer?
Sir.
You know what sir is? Sir is, with all due respect.
Yeah.
That's what somebody's saying. That's what this man said.
With all due respect.
That's all this man is saying. Sir, with all due respect. When somebody tell you that,
Bad
they're prepping you for something. What are they prepping you for?
Doubt.
Say it again.
Doubt.
You don't understand. Doubt. You said something. Excuse. Yeah, somebody said excuse. When somebody say with all due respect, that means they about to give you some baloney. Yeah, let me tell you something. You don't know what I've been going through in my life.
My strength.
Nobody
You don't know
knows.
what I've been through.
Yeah.
You might be unfamiliar with my history. You may not know why I'm the way I am. You don't really know me, do you? With all due respect, you don't know what I've tried to change my condition. You know, when somebody tells you, sir, or with all due respect, they're prepping you for something. And you said earlier, you said they're prepping you for doubt.
Yeah.
He says, sir, with all due respect, read.
I have no man.
He said, I have no what?
No man.
He said, what is he saying when I ain't got no man?
No help.
Say it again.
No help.
When somebody says, I have no help to change their condition, what is that? It's a what?
Excuse.
Why don't people change their situation?
Wait on somebody.
They're waiting on somebody to help them. And they put the responsibility of the change on somebody else's shoulders. Do we do that today? Yes, sir. I am making excuses. But what is my excuse?
I have no man.
I don't got no help. How many people to this day are in a condition that they've been in for a long time that hasn't changed because they're waiting on somebody to help them? When in actuality, the power is in you. The day that you make a decision. We have more power over our circumstance than what we give ourselves credit for. We're waiting on something to fall from the sky.
Yep.
We're waiting on the angel to trouble the water. But in actuality, the reason why that man been in that situation for a long time, because he was too busy looking at nobody's helping me. He was believing his excuses. I don't have any help. How long do you think we can get away with living with that type of excuse? I don't got no help. How much longer are we going to be sick? Waiting on somebody to help us? How much longer are we going to be dealing with vices and diseases? Waiting on somebody, putting the responsibility on another person. I'm putting the responsibility of my change on you. It's your fault I haven't changed. It's your fault I haven't been healed. Let's find out if this is sufficient. Because and this is more than enough evidence of somebody that is living in bad faith. Because also in living in bad faith, philosophically means to take no accountability at holding on to the ideas that you say that you have no power over.
I missed that.
Another example of living in bad faith is to take no accountability at holding on to the ideas that you tell yourself you have no power over. I refuse to take accountability.
Oh wow.
It's somebody that's living in bad faith. All my faults, my weaknesses, my diseases, my vices, I place it on somebody else's shoulders. And I'm the victim. It's not my fault. Nobody's helping me. Nobody's giving me assistance. Nobody's showing me how to do it. Nobody's telling me. Nobody's demonstrating it. Nobody's helping me. Nobody's walking me through the change that I need to make. The first change starts with what you tell yourself. That's where the change starts. What do you tell yourself when it comes to your weaknesses? Do you look to point the finger and say, my issues is somebody else's fault? If that's the case, then you're not going to be healed. There will be no change as long as you're taking no accountability. Many people don't take accountability for their issues. They've never said it's my doing, it's my fault, or I'm the captain of my ship. You know, you got Jocko Willink. Anybody know who that is? Jocko Willink?
Yeah, he's a Edomite dude, military, fought in Desert Storm.
Yeah, he was like special forces. He was like either Green Beret or Navy SEAL. I think he was a Navy SEAL.
He was a commander.
He was a Navy SEAL. He was a Navy SEAL, and he talks about what is his default mentality. That's what he talks about. He talks about, he's done many podcasts. He's an Edomite dude that's been in war, and he's now like a motivational speaker. But he always talks about what is his default mentality. Read this for me, Delia, real quick. Let me see if I can find it. He calls it to his default aggressive mentality. That's what he calls it. Read this for me right here. Read it quickly as you can.
Default, proactive and aggressive are similar.
He says he stays proactive and he stays aggressive. Go ahead.
They are both good.
Read it quick.
You certainly have to be proactive in the world. You want to be dictating what happens, not responding to it. And yes, that means creating or controlling a situation as much as you can. But being aggressive, that means you are ready to attack.
You are what?
Ready to attack.
Read.
As I always point out, this doesn't mean you walk around with your chest puffed up, ready to bang heads with everyone around you. It doesn't mean you confront people physically or mentally head on or without a tactically superior plan. It doesn't mean you go straight forward into conflict without thought and without reason. It doesn't mean you engage in attrition warfare. No, this is almost never smart. What it does mean is that you are going to get after it.
He said, you're going to do what?
Get after it.
You're going to get after it. What does he mean? Read.
Aggressive. You are going to move fast.
He tells himself, this is what he tells himself every day. You're going to move fast. What else?
You're going to think fast.
He said, he tells himself, I'm going to move fast. I'm going to think fast. Go ahead.
You're going to outthink and outmaneuver the enemy. If I think the enemy is going to attack me, I'm going to attack them first. If I think they're going to seize a piece of terrain, I'm going to be there waiting for them. If I think the enemy is going to flank me, too late. I'm already flanking them. I don't view aggression as an outward attitude. I view aggression as the internal character trait, as an internal character trait. A fire in your mind that says, I am going to win.
He says what?
A fire in your mind that says, I am going to win.
What does this man tell himself on a daily basis?
I'm going to win.
What does he tell himself?
I am going to win.
I ain't got no help.
I am going to win.
It's somebody else's fault.
I am going to win.
He make excuses.
I am going to win.
There's no hope for me.
I am going to win.
There's nothing I can do to change my situation.
I am going to win.
What does he tell himself every day?
I am going to win.
What else?
I am going to battle. I am going to fight. And I am going to use every tool I have to crush my enemy. And that tool might be fist, but it might be guile. It might be a frontal attack. It might be a flanking maneuver. It might be an undeniable display of force, but it also might be a subtle political maneuver.
Finish this point that he's making. I just want to finish this point that he's making. Finish that.
And that is what aggression is to me. The unstoppable fighting spirit.
He says what?
The unstoppable fighting spirit.
What does this man stay in?
A fighting spirit.
He stays in a fighting spirit. This is an Edomite man that don't know the Bible, but he knows how to survive because he's been to war. And if you're going to go to war, whether you're going to war physically or you're going to war mentally, you got to have a mentality that says, I'm going to win. Read.
The drive, the burning desire to achieve mission success using every tool possible, asset and strategy and tactic to bring about victory. It is the will to win. And if that kind of internal relentless aggression is in your default mode, you will win.
Read that again.
If that kind of internal relentless aggression is in your default mode, you will win.
What he's saying is, if I think this way on an everyday basis, that I'm going to attack, I'm going to be victorious, I'm going to win no matter what, I'm going to fight at all times. I stay in a fight mentality. Everything is possible for me to be victorious. If you think this way every day, he said what? You will win. What does that mean? This man has taught himself the psychological aspect to surviving a war. No different than, the Ukrainians, they got Colombians fighting in Ukraine for them. The Ukrainians have hired Colombians to fight against the Russians. And there's one Colombian, they nicknamed him, they gave him a nickname, they call him the Tornado. Or I guess in Spanish it would be what? Tornado. They call him Tornado. Same thing. And he's home right now. He did 110 days on the front line of Ukraine. And he says, this is not a game. I'm here for the money. He said, it's not a game. And if you want to live, you got to overcome your fears. And he says, and every day the enemy is in the form of a drone. He said, you have to become accustomed to drone warfare. That means you have to stay hidden, stay tucked in, never exposed. And you always got to be listening for the drones that's coming overhead. And he said the way he's able to survive is for the fact that he's developed the ability to overcome his fears and his doubts. And this is how he survived. He said, he's seen tragedies in war. A lot of people go get killed, don't make it. He said he's home right now with his family. He's going to teach his community what it takes, the mentality that it takes to survive. Then he said he's going back to Ukraine to make some more money.
The guy's tripping. You know, like this is like a job, right?
He is a job. Yeah. He's a mercenary.
Yeah.
But what mentality is he in? Fighting mentality.
Fight mindset.
What mentality do you got to be in spiritually? It's the same thing. The same thing, the same mentality that these men take to fight wars and be victorious in battle and not be shook and dead is the same thing that you have to do in the spirit to not be overcome by your doubts and fears. Because your doubts and fears is just like drones. It's just like artillery. It's there to tell you what's not possible. It's always an enemy. What you tell yourself is always an enemy.
Yeah.
There's a power in positive thinking. What you tell yourself can be the answer to your situation. Read that again, St. John chapter 5, verse 7.
St. John chapter 5, verse 7. The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man.
He says, Sir, I have no what?
No man.
I don't got no help. I don't got no man. I mean, nobody's helping me. Nobody's helping me overcome my disease. Nobody's helping me with my vice. Nobody's helping me with my weakness. Philosophers have a term for this. They call this, based on outlook, I am a prisoner of my own making. They call this mentality or this particular outlook, you have become a prisoner of your own making. What does that mean?
You convinced yourself.
Say it loud so the camera can hear you.
Convinced yourself that you're not going to get out of this place. You're in it, you're stuck in it, and you're never going to get out. You're never going to figure out the answer.
How many people have become prisoners of their own making? What does that mean?
You made your own prison.
I made my own prison. That means I put up the bars, I put up the steel door, I put up the steel bed, and I got the metal toilet in there.
Mm.
And I put myself in a situation because of what I tell myself. Yes, sir.
And you also have the key.
And I have the key. And that key is called unhappiness. Because that thought process we read earlier is said to be the keys of unhappiness. It's what you tell yourself is impossible. You tell yourself there's nothing that can be done. I don't got no help. You fabricate your own prison. They also call this blind to my own options.
Mm.
So that means what? If I'm blind to my options, that also means what? If I have options, I have what? I have choices. If I have options to an alternative lifestyle, that also means I have choices to an alternative lifestyle. But if I'm telling myself that I don't got no help, I'm blinding myself to my options. Who does that in this life? Go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4. Who is the master of blinding people to their options? So that they're convinced that they don't have no choice. When in actuality, we always have a choice. We always have a choice because we always have options. We don't have to fabricate our own prison. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4. And who, the God of this world,
The God of this world, who's the God of this world? Satan is the God of this world. What is the God of this world known for?
says, hath blinded the minds of them which believe not.
What is the job of the God of this world, which we know is Satan? What is his job?
Hath blinded the minds.
What is Satan's job?
Blinded the minds.
Satan's job in this life is to blind your mind. What does that mean?
Blinded from God.
His job is to blind you, to take away the idea that you do have choices and you have options. That you don't have to be stuck in a situation where you're a victim of your circumstance. Where your condition is permanent. Your condition is not permanent. You can change your condition whenever you decide to make the change. It's Satan's job to tell you that you have no choices and you have no options, and that no matter what you do, nothing's ever going to change. And I'm stuck like this. No, you're not. You're never stuck like this. But Satan's job is to tell you you are stuck like this. There's nothing you can do. There's no help for you. It's too late for you. You've been this way a long time. You made your bed, lie in it. That's Satan's job, is to tell you all them lies. He's the father of lies. His job is to lie to you, to tell you that there's no hope. There's always hope. Read.
And whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Because when his job is to take away your what? Your belief. But your belief in what? Change. Hope. Healing. Overcoming. Being strengthened. Being victorious. Winning. That's his job. Christ is putting the ball back in our hands saying, shoot it, you can win. Satan's job is to tell you, don't shoot it, you're going to lose the game. His job is to take away your confidence. And then you turn into J.R. Smith. For anybody that knows who J.R. Smith is, he was a basketball player that caught a rebound when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And it was like 6 seconds left on the clock. And he caught the rebound after his team shot the ball, so it was an offensive rebound. All he had to do was put the ball back up and shoot it again. Shoot it back. But he caught the ball and ran away from the rim. And ran to the three-point line and burnt the clock out. And LeBron almost pulled his bald hair out. You know, LeBron ain't got no hair, but LeBron was like, LeBron was pointing at the rim. All you had to do was shoot it. Why would you get the rebound and run away from the basket? We could have won the game. LeBron was just pointing at the goal. Just shoot it. And the clock ran out. They lost. Championship on the line. Who the hell told J.R. Smith to run from the basket?
He's already defeated. Something.
You had the winning shot in your hand with about 6 seconds left, and you ran away from the rim, your own rim. That's what Satan do in our life. From the time we get up in the morning, Satan tell you there's no hope. You can't change. Why try? You're a loser. You can't win. You're defeated. That's a job. That's a job. To take away your belief. And that's what he's good at. That's what Satan's good at. Satan is good at telling people what's not possible. Christ tell you everything that is possible. And what are we looking at? Christ is dealing with a man that has been in his situation for 38 years because he's telling himself, I don't have no help. Who got the best of him? Satan got the best of him. Go back to verse 7.
The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man.
So, philosophically, I become a prisoner of my own making, and I have no ability to confront the excuses, so I remain inactive. That's what they say when it means that when you're blind to your options. You have no ability to confront the excuses, and you remain inactive. That means I don't do nothing at all. Because I don't have the ability, I don't have the faith to fight my excuses. I don't have enough faith to fight my reasons that I created of why I can't change my situation. You have to have faith to fight your excuses of why life can't be better. Life can always be better. You could always be healed. You could always break a curse. You can always break a vice. You can always break an addiction. But you got to have a little bit of faith to fight against those excuses that Satan is playing defense with. Yes, sir.
There's a guy named Sadhguru from India, and there was a video I saw a long time ago. And he said people create their own horror movies in their minds when the horror movie wasn't even there in the first place.
Yep.
It's on that point what you're saying, because that's what we do.
And like I said, it's not hard to see the human condition. The human condition is every one of us prove why we're in our position. We do the same things over and over and over. If you're a slave of fear, you're going to be a slave of fear on multiple occasions. If you're a slave of lust, you're a slave of lust on multiple occasions. We have multiple occasions, like we have multiple opportunities to fix the problem.
Yep.
And so you look at these Gentiles, these different gurus and philosophers, different people. They're just people that are like, listen, we know that man's sick. We don't have the oracles, but we know there's something that can be done. What can we do? It has to be addressed. We're blessed because we have the oracles of the Lord. That actually the true victory. Because all these philosophers study scriptures. They just weren't really, they want to mix their gentilic belief systems with the Bible. But problems are not hard to see.
Or they just learn by trial and error.
Yeah.
By having an echo to line. If I don't think that this way, I'll die.
I'm going to die.
If I don't think this way, if I don't think positive, if I don't think victorious, if I don't think of what's possible, I'll die.
Like tornado.
Like Tornado.
Tornado.
Yeah, Tornado, he's fully convinced. He knows what it takes to survive in Ukraine. Even though it's a bloodbath in Ukraine. He's going back for round 2. That man has faith that he can make it. But we have the biblical evidence of the components of what's necessary spiritually to be victorious for every issue that we possess. Christ tells us what it takes. Satan's job is to take away what's possible and the hope and the belief that's in us to change. What does Christ say? Matthew chapter 12, verse 33. Next brother, next verse.
Come. Matthew chapter 23.
No, Matthew chapter 12, verse 33.
Okay, 12 and 30. Come. Matthew chapter 12, verse 33 reads. Ready?
Read.
Come. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 33 reads. Either make the tree good.
What did Christ say?
Either make the tree good.
Another brother, give me Mark 8 and 24. What is Christ talking about? Write these down. Mark, we're in Matthew chapter 12, verse 33. Also, want another brother read Mark 8 and 24.
Mark chapter 8, verse 24.
Let's get some context on this. Read.
And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walk.
So when the Bible's talking about trees, is it always talking about olives and grapefruits and lemons and apple trees and pomegranate trees? When the Bible's talking about trees, sometimes the Bible, when it mentions trees, it's metaphoric, it's symbolic for what? Men. So now we understand that when the Bible's talking about trees, it's not always talking about a fruit or actual tree, arbor made of wood. So let's read that again. Matthew 12, 33.
Matthew chapter 12 and verse 33 reads. Either make the tree good.
Christ said either make the tree good. Go ahead.
And his fruit good.
And make the fruit good. Read.
Or else make the tree corrupt. And his fruit corrupt.
So is Christ talking about fruit trees? What is Christ talking about? He's talking about men. When he's telling men, he's telling us, mankind, either make the tree good and its fruit good, or make the tree corrupt and its fruit corrupt. If you notice, if it says either, that means what?
It's a choice.
That means you got a choice.
There's two opportunities. Yeah, this an opportunity.
You got to speak up a little bit. I want to.
You got two sets of opportunities.
You got two outcomes. That means in life, if life is stinking a little bit, if life is sucking a little bit, if life is not as positive as it could be, that doesn't mean that it has to be that way. But that means that we have power. We have power to either make our life good and the fruit of it good, or we have the power to make the tree corrupt and the fruit of it corrupt. So what he's saying this is, you have a choice. Satan's job is to tell us we don't have a choice. Christ is saying, you do have a choice. You can either get the best of life if you choose to change your actions. Because let me get Isaiah let's get a brother so we understand. We're talking about the fruit. Isaiah 3 and 10. So we talking about, so we know what he's talking about when he's talking about the fruit. We know a tree is talking about man. What does he mean when he's talking about the fruit? Isaiah 3 and 10. Who got it?
God, Isaiah chapter 3, verse 10. Say ye to the righteous,
He says, say ye to the righteous. Read.
that it shall be well with him.
He says, life will be good for you. He says, tell the righteous, the believers, the ones that believe and hope that they can change and make changes. He says, tell the righteous what?
That it shall be well with him.
That life will be better for you. Life is going to get better for you. Why would he tell the righteous life will be better for you? Read.
For they shall eat the fruit of their doing.
Because you've changed your what? Your actions. Your doings is your actions. That means that if I decide to change my actions, life will be better for me. That means I'm not always a victim of my circumstance. That means I have the power to alter my actions. And if I choose to alter my actions, life will start to be better. Is that not opposite of what Satan is telling us? So he's talking about you shall eat of the what?
Of the fruit of their doings.
Go ahead.
Woe unto the wicked.
That's it right there. I just want to prove that point. Life changes when our actions change. Life changes when we think of what's possible, not of what's impossible.
Yeah. So life changes when we're actually focused on change.
When we focus on change.
But life doesn't change when we don't focus on change.
When we tell ourselves there's no hope. Why try? I've tried it already. It doesn't work.
God.
When I meditate on, when I live in bad faith according to philosophy.
Which is true.
So we have every ability possible to control our actions because we got choices. So we got power. We got power to act versus make excuses. And what Christ is expressing is that in life, we all have been given choices. Life doesn't have to be the way it is. And the day that we decide to say, I'm going to be victorious, when that becomes our default mentality, when that becomes what we tell ourselves and what we feed ourselves every day, then we'll notice a difference. Life will start to be positive. Give me Ephesians chapter 5, verse 3. Why is that so important? What does it take? What does it take to start eating of the fruit of my doings? And life started to really take off for me. Yes, sir.
You had stated that that option that we normally choose in spirit.
Yes.
I know there's classes that War had that talks about choosing courage over fear. And that second option is pretty much courage.
Well, you know what courage is? First, you have to understand what courage is by definition. Courage, by definition, is a state of mind. How can I choose courage if that's not my state of mind? What does that mean? What does that mean to have that state of mind? That means I exist in this state of mind. By definition, courage, the ability to encounter danger or pain without fear.
Yeah.
Because that's what courage is. And if that's the state of mind that I'm in, then I could perform courageous acts. Then I'm not a victim of my situation. Let's get that. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 3.
5. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 3. But fornication.
It said, but if I'm gonna make the tree good, I gotta put away what?
Fornication.
Fornication is porn. Pornography. Pornography has everything to do with my lust. That means if I'm gonna change, I gotta start attacking my what? My lust. Because that's what pornography is. It's the entertaining of lust. Porneo, the Greek. So my life is not gonna get better until I fight my what? My lust. I gotta fight my lust. What else?
It says, but fornication and all uncleanliness,
and everything else that's unclean. Read on.
or covetousness,
Or wanting what somebody else has because I don't have it, I'm angry. Read on.
let it not be once named among you
Go ahead.
as becoming saints.
As you become saints of God, because ultimately that's what the Most High wants us to be. He wants us to be his saints. But being the saints of God comes with a responsibility. And it comes with an alteration of ideas, negative thoughts, and negative actions. As we become God's saints, as we become part of his army, there are certain things that we have to fight. Our lust is one of them. And whatever else is unclean about us. As we become these saints of God. Read on.
Verse 4. Neither filthiness.
I gotta put away what?
Filthiness.
So when Christ says either make the tree good and the fruit good, or make the tree evil and the fruit evil, that means I gotta make a decision. I gotta want to put away all filthiness. I gotta want to defeat my lust. What else?
Nor foolish talking.
I gotta stop talking crazy.
Yep.
What is it when he says foolish talking? What is foolish talking?
Like, talking about off the line stuff is not regarded to the pleasant spirit of men around it.
You know, my conversation cannot be in the world. You know, a lot of people like to brag about how drunk they were, how high they were, how much money they blew, how much fun they had, how many women they ran through, how many partners they didn't smash. I got what kind of body count I have. People like to brag about the most foolish things. And they like to talk about the most foolish things. But none of these things help change a person. That means that the me getting joy out of the world has to change. I got to start talking about things that inspire the spirit. That's edification. Things that alter me morally. How can I become a better person? My conversation has to always be about becoming better. I don't care about what the world is doing. Neither do I find joy in foolishness. Maybe as a teenager, maybe as a kid, but I no longer am enthused with the foolishness that the party people. I'm not talking about the party. I'm not looking for the party. As I get older, I get more mature. I'm looking at what can build my spirit. How can I build my spirit up? Become a better person. Be a better father. Be a better mother. Be a better brother. Be a better uncle. Be a better friend. This is my conversation. What else?
It says, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient.
Oh, I'm joking all the time. I'm playing a lot. I'm joking a lot. He says, all these things are what?
Not convenient.
All these things are no good for me. Porn, lust, wickedness, talking crazy, promoting worldly activities. None of these things are convenient for me. Looking for the fun, still trying to do things that I did when I was 15, or still have the conversation of a 15-year-old. None of these things are convenient for me. So as I become a saint, as I become a saint of God, my actions are changing. My speech is changing. My motivation is changing. The things I promote is changing. So, and also, I'm not blaming other people for my condition, because that's when I'm falling into bad faith. That's when I'm discharging blame of my condition on other people. So now let's go back to St. John chapter 5, verse 7 one more time.
St. John chapter 5. Verse 7.
Yes, sir.
The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man.
With all due respect, I don't have a man. I don't have no help. Read.
When the water is troubled.
It says, when the angel troubles the water, read on.
To put me into the pool.
He says, I don't have nobody to help me lift me up off the ground and pick me up and put me in the pool. Obviously, how many times that man been by the pool?
38 years.
He been in this condition for 38 years. That means how many chances that this man had to get in that water? He said, but every time that the angel troubled the water, read on.
God. When the water is troubled, to put me into the pool.
Read on.
But while I am coming.
He said, but when I'm trying to make my way to the pool and I'm crawling and I'm leaning or I'm rolling, whatever this man is doing, when I'm trying to get to the water, read on.
Another step down before me.
Somebody stepped down over me.
Sounds familiar, bro.
They beat me to it.
I just can't do it. You said the can't do attitude. Not the can do.
Listen, first of all, if you've been at the water at least for the first 5 times, and everybody keeps stepping over you, that means I'm gonna choose a different position in the pool.
Close to the right next to.
I'm gonna be like so close to the water. I'm gonna be like this, like waiting. I'm already be there.
Wait.
I'm just waiting. I might be hovered. I might have my hand hovered over the pool. I'm just gonna choose a different strategy. Obviously, the strategy I have is not working. Let me alter some things. But if you, first of all, you know after the first 5 times people keep stepping over you, why are you that far away? Anyway.
That sounds like, you know what? It's a very relatable circumstance because he didn't think his way through his problem. But we're the same way. We think about everything else but thinking our way through our issues.
Right.
We'll think about how we were defeated, how somebody did bad to us, how people against us, how the sky is not blue anymore.
Everybody's hating on me.
I'm not strong enough to do this anymore. We're going exquisite, like almost atomic detail for that. But when it comes to going into detail about solutions, we're very surface when it comes to solutions. It's not like he didn't give his complete mind and being to his healing.
You know why? Because it's easier to make an excuse. It's easy to make an excuse for your condition, for our condition, and to discharge blame on other people than to actually think about solutions and think about strategy and think about methods that could possibly work the next time. Next year, I'm going to be in a better position for this angel to come down and mix this water up so I can get this healing. But you know what is easy for us to do? Point the finger. I ain't got nobody's helping me. Nobody's walking me through this process. Nobody's assisting me. It's easier to blame than it is to change. That means the default mode is excuse over what's possible. That means we need to be rewired. We need to be reprogrammed. Start off with the first verse we started with. Read Romans chapter 12, verse 2 one more time. We actually need to be redone. Our programming is broken.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2.
Yep.
And be not conformed to this world.
Because the world will tell me what's not possible and what can't be done. Read on.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Does not our mind and our thoughts need to be made new? Yes. We need to be rewritten. We need to have a new programmer rewrite a program for us. Because the program that we got in our minds is Macintosh 95.
Yeah.
We don't even got Windows 7. We got Macintosh 95 with 8-bit resolution. big old blocks and big old squares, and all you can do is play Pong.
That's it.
Like Atari playing Pong. All you do is play Pong. The ball just move the arrow, roll the ball. and just play Pong. And we just roll. We got the
That's
little,
smart to go.
we got the little roller wheel.
Yeah.
Little roller wheel.
Oh, remember that?
And all we do is slide the bar up and down and hit the ball like we playing tennis with ourselves. That's all we can do is play Pong, bro. 8-bit resolution. That's where we at, bro. We need to be updated, man. They got 4K out. They got 8K. They got 8K out. 8,000 pixels? That means I can see the sweat and boogers off the guy's face in the movie.
Yeah.
I can see his pores sweating. That's how things have become so clear. We still operating in the Atari world, playing Donkey Kong.
The old game. The old Donkey Kong.
The old Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Mario was the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario Bros. He was the bad guy in Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that's
He was oppressing Donkey Kong.
He was the oppressor.
Donkey.
He was throwing barrels at Donkey.
Yeah,
When I was a kid, I was like, man, why is Mario doing this?
that's the old Donkey. We're so behind in our program. We still think like 40 years old, like people did 40 years ago. When it comes to what's possible, when it comes to what changes I can make, we're outdated in our hope, in our faith. Our faith is outdated. People, the Most High. That's why the Most High said, "Listen, please, as you become a saint of the Most High, and as you submit yourself to God, allow yourself to be rewired." Read it again.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Will you let somebody change your mind? Will you let somebody change the way you think? Or are you still gonna be like black and white Pac-Man? You only see the banana shape, but there ain't no color to it. This is horrible, bro. People live life like this. And then you got a lot of people that can see life clearly, and they understand the meaning of life and their objective and their roles in life. They understand how to get the best out of life. They can look at everything positive and clear. You got people now that got the VR headsets. They're down there in the game. They're in the game, and the game is clear. They feel like they're a part of the game.
Talk about the Oculus.
Yeah, whatever, all the VR headset, virtual reality. Yeah, but our people you got a lot of people still living in old-fashioned faith. Ain't nothing gonna change. Ain't no hope for me.
I'm here though.
No good's ever gonna come to me. What? I'm stuck being the person that I am. I'm gonna always be this way. And okay, you need to be updated. You need to update. You need somebody to download a new program, new software. You can change anytime. But you gotta let somebody do it. That's why Christ asked the man, will thou be made whole? You gotta want to be changed. You have to want it. It ain't even difficult. Hold that. And go to Matthew chapter 25, verse 24.
Matthew 25, 24. Then he which had received the one talent.
It said the Most High gave everybody abilities. And we finally get down to the guy that was given the one talent. He was given an ability, but he only had one. Some got 5 and some got 2. He got 1. Read on.
Came and said,
But he came and said what?
Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man.
He said, Lord, I knew you was a hard man. What does that mean when he's saying this? Lord, I knew you was a hard man. What is he prepping himself for?
I knew you. Oh, the disappointment.
Say it
Or
again.
the punishment. Because he understood his standard. He already knew his standard. But he also knew that he didn't want to do it, or he couldn't do it.
Well, let's find out. Very close. Read it again.
God. Then he which had received the one talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man,
Go ahead.
reaping where thou hast not sown,
Go ahead.
and gathering where thou hast not strawed.
So what he's saying is, I know what you're asking me, what you're asking of me. I will fail your expectation. What is this man dealing with? Low self-esteem.
Mm.
This man is dealing with low self-esteem. A lot of us have low self-esteem.
You know what that is? That's called crippling. They use it as crippling depression, where you're so bogged down with your own thoughts you can't do anything. It goes from I doubt myself to I just can't even get up bed. I can't even go make my bed, brush my teeth, get myself together. I stopped eating. Now I'm crippled by all the level of doubt and the layers and layers of doubt I've had. So now everything around us is falling.
So this person has a failed. He has accepted the fact that he cannot meet God's expectations. How many of us actually have that mentality? That I can't live up to God's expectation. His expectation is too great for me. He's asking for too much. He's asking for more than what I can actually produce and do. I can't either make the change fast enough, good enough, or I'm not worthy of what he has to give me. So what do I do when I have this mentality? Read on.
Verse 25. And I was afraid.
He says, so what do we do?
Get scared.
What is another word for afraid or fear? What's another word for fear?
Doubt.
Doubt. And that's what we want to get the definition of. Correct. Give me that definition of doubt. Yes.
Time.
Okay. Give me that definition of doubt.
Time.
Give me the second. Give me the, I tell you what. Give me the noun for doubt. Give me the noun,
Time.
not the verb. Give me the noun.
Time. Doubt, 1828 Webster Dictionary. Noun. It says a fluctuation of mind.
Doubt or fear is a fluctuation of mind.
Wow.
So where does doubt exist in?
The mind.
Doubt exists in the mind. Doubt lives in the mind. That means that fear and doubt lives in your thought process. That means you can either have fear or doubt, and it's embedded in your mind or your thoughts, or you can remove it. But it is in the mind. That's exactly where it is. That's where doubt or fear lodges itself. That's where it lives. That's where it stays. That's its home. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's when Christ asked that man, "Would thou be healed?" He was also examining his mentality.
Exactly.
He was trying to get insight into his mind. Where's his mind? Is your mind ready for him?
That's
Are you mentally capable?
that he's asking him, do you want it?
Exactly.
Do you think it's possible? But he says doubt is real. That's why it's a noun, because it's real. But it lives in the thoughts. Read that again, Kariah.
Time. Doubt. A fluctuation of mind.
But it's when the mind says, I can do it, and it's when the mind says, I can't. I can do it. I can't do it. It's possible. It's impossible.
Wait.
I can. No, I can't. This will work. No, it's not going to work. When you fluctuate like that, and you play with those highs and lows of the fact that I don't think things can be done, things ain't gonna get done. If you don't see yourself in a good light, as capable of changing, you're not gonna change. Doubt is what you tell yourself. It's what you feed yourself. What else?
It says a fluctuation of mind respecting truth or propriety
Read on.
arising from deep.
Stop. It says doubt begins from what?
respecting truth or propriety.
No. I want you to read the point that I stopped you at.
Okay.
Doubt begins where? It says arising, meaning it has an origin. It has a starting point. It has a starting place. Where does doubt start at? Let's find out.
Arising from defect of knowledge.
What does doubt start from?
Defect of knowledge.
Your knowledge is what?
Defect.
How many of us have defective knowledge and didn't know that defective knowledge is doubt? Defective meaning your knowledge is broken. That means your understanding is broken. That means what you know and what you understand and what you comprehend is broken. Doubt starts from broken knowledge. Did not the Most High say, my people are destroyed for what?
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge? It's what you don't know that hurts you. And if you have knowledge, and if your knowledge is broken or defective, then you're going to have life. You're going to have a life riddled with impossibility. You're going to have a life filled with no changes. You're going to have a life of vices and addictions and sicknesses and weaknesses because you tell yourself, I can't do it. Your can-do button is broken. So doubt lives in the mind, but it starts from having defective what?
It says from defect of knowledge or evidence.
It says, or I don't believe because I can't see the facts of what's true. I don't believe in what's true, or I don't believe in what's possible, or I don't believe in what's real. How many people have let the pain, trauma, or issues that they suffered in life alter and change their ability to see the things true and clearly to where they can fix their life? They can make these adjustments. They can make the changes. They can be healed. They can overcome. They can be victorious. I let trauma, pain, and suffering ruin my ability to have a positive outlook. I need a positive outlook to make changes. But why can't I change anything? Because I'm still defective and my knowledge is still defective. What I understand is still broken. Because I let the world teach me suffering, affliction, trauma, and they broke my button. The world broke me. The pain of life broke me down. Now I don't believe in nothing. Now I don't see things positive anymore. I used to think positive as a kid till this happened to me. How many people say that? I was good as a person. I was strong. I was great. Life was good until this happened to me. And when this situation happened to me in life, I stopped caring. I went downhill. I stopped trying to change. I just don't care. Nothing's going to change anyway. Or it was a series of events. It was a multitude of events that happened in my life where it started affecting my knowledge and my perspective to where I stopped thinking that life can be better. Finish that?
Come on, Matthew 25.
No, the definition.
Definition. It says uncertainty of mind.
Uncertainty of what?
Of mind.
No, I don't know anymore. I don't know. I don't know if anything's going to change. I don't know. I'm uncertain. People let the world break their possible button. That button be broke. But that's doubt. That's what doubt is all about. So read that again, Yaki.
No, Matthew 25 and 25. And I was afraid.
He said what?
And I was afraid.
He said, I was afraid. Read.
And went and hid thy talent in the earth.
He said, I went and I hid thy talent in the earth. Read.
Lo, there thou hast that is thine.
He says, lo, there, look, Lord, what you gave me, there it is right there. That one talent you gave me, there it is. Read on.
Lord, Like his Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant.
Why did God call this person that was immobile, inactive, unbelieving, wicked, and slothful? You got to speak up on the camera here. You have the power to change. This is what he told himself. He told himself, I'll fail your expectations. I'm not going to meet up to your expectations, Lord. That's why he says, I knew you was a hard man. He started making excuses. He says, I already know you demand more than what you actually have given. So I'm going to fail it anyway. I'm going to fail you, Lord. So why even try? So this is why the Most High called that servant wicked and slothful. Because you didn't even try. That's what the Most High called him, wicked and slothful. Wicked because he was unbelieving. Slothful because he didn't even try. A lot of us don't try to change because we already believe nothing's gonna change.
We're convinced of that and it's all gonna get better.
When the opposite mentality of that. Next brother, next verse. Give me Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 9, verse 10. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 9, verse 10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 10 reads. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 10 reads. Whatsoever thy hand find to do.
What do you read it again?
God. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do.
The Bible says, whatever you find your hand finding to do, read on.
Do it with thy might.
He says, do it with what?
Thy might.
Do it with all your strength. Why does the Bible want you to do everything that you do with all your strength? Yes.
I was gonna say you won't leave or die like knowing that you didn't try. Like you can say, I gave it my all.
You can say, I gave it my all. What did you say, Karai?
No, I said basically the reason why they gotta do it with all that might is so that you can attack that doubt that's in you.
You can attack the doubt that's in you.
Yeah.
Yes. What else? Why would the Most High say everything you do, give it all your strength? Go all in.
You don't know how much time you get.
You don't know how much time you got?
You don't have the time to hesitate or think about the possibilities. Just go and give it your all without flinching.
Dawan?
So you can see the power that's
Say it again.
so you can see the power that's in you.
So you can see the power that's in you? What you got?
To keep you in a fighting spirit.
Keep you in a fighting spirit?
You want to give the most out of your best.
Because you want to give the Most High your best? All of it is right. You want to give the Most High your all because you want to believe in order to take action in doing something. You want to believe that if I perform whatever it is that I'm doing with all my strength, change is possible. I want to see if change is possible. You'll never know if change is possible until you give something all your strength. Yes, sir.
And while you're expressing all your strength, I think it exposes your weaknesses. And through your weaknesses, staying with him and following him and being on his path, it can make you stronger to overcome.
Yeah, you can. This is what the Most High wants. He wants everything we do to give a full committed effort. 100% effort. So if you're trying to overcome a situation, a vice, or an addiction, or a weakness, or a sickness, give 100% of your effort to the change. Don't halfway do it. Don't sometimes do it. Commit to it. And if you open in the Bible and reading the Bible, then make reading the Bible an obsession. Make it your obsession. Make it a passion of yours. If removing negative thinking is a problem that you've always had, then attack your negative thoughts with all your energy. Then force yourself to think positive. Tell yourself, no, I'm not going to think like this. I'm not going to give myself to this thought process. You don't even know what's possible until you give all your strength to what you're doing. You have to believe in the performance of change. Because change does require the performance. It does require actions. So let's read verse 11.
God, verse 11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding.
So it says the victory is not to who's the smartest, not who's the wisest. The victory is not who's the strongest. He says, but the victory comes from where? Read on.
Neither yet bread to the wise.
Go ahead.
Nor yet riches to men of understanding.
Go ahead.
Nor yet favor to men of skill.
So it don't matter how much skill you got. It don't matter how much money you got. To change, it don't require none of those things. But it does require all your effort. It does require all your strength. Because you know what you're exploring when you change when you do something with all your strength? What are you exploring? Read on.
But time and chance happeneth to them all.
He says what?
But time and chance happeneth to them all.
Because when you give all your strength, you may not know that this is your chance. You may not know until you give all your strength that this is your season to change. You may not know until you give all your strength that this is actually your time to change. And it's your time to overcome your weaknesses. And it's your time to be healed. He said, well, just like the angel coming down and ruffling the waters at a particular season, he's saying that change operates like this in our lives in seasons and in times. That means that it's not just that the angel is ruffling the water for that impotent man that's been in that condition for 38 years. That means that opportunity for healing is right here in front of us today.
Yeah.
But the problem is we can make the same excuses today that man made a long time ago, not realizing that the angel still works. The healing still is available. And the victory is within grasp, arm's reach. What he's saying is the probability of success is still available. So that's why you give all your strength. You know what he's showing? The man at the water wasn't giving all of his strength. He wasn't trying hard enough. Just because everybody, what he's saying is, everybody gets time. Everybody gets chance. Everybody gets a season that they can overcome something. The Most High opens the door for healing to all of us. But in order to explore what's possible, you need all your strength to find out that it is capable, or this is your season. You'll never know. You'll never know how close change is until you give all your strength.
The angel didn't change the environment to say we're a product of our environment, but he changed one element.
He changed one element. What does this mean? Give me that, finish that in Matthew 25, read verse 26.
Matthew 25 and 26.
Read it quickly. Read down to verse 30. Because we want to get another brother read Ecclesiastes in the Bible, not the Apocrypha. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 11, verse 1. Read that.
Matthew 25 and 26. The Lord answered the sinner and him, thou wicked and slothful servant.
He says, you wicked and slothful servant. Why is he wicked and slothful? Because he didn't try and he didn't give all of his strength. Read.
Thou knowest that I reap where I sow not.
Go ahead.
And gather where I have not straw.
You knew, because you said you knew. Problem is your knowledge is defective. You just riddled with doubt. Read on.
Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchanger.
He says, instead of being inactive, and instead of being immobile and doing nothing at all, because your doubt got the best of you, He said you should have explored options and tried to give it to somebody else so that what? He said you should have what?
Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchanger, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury.
You didn't try everything. Why was the Lord angry with him? Because he didn't try everything possible. There's people that could have told him what to do with it. He didn't try. He just buried it. He didn't try hard enough. How many of us have healing right there in our grasp and we don't try hard enough to make changes? And the Most High is angry about that because we let doubt get the best of us. It's what we tell ourselves. Everybody in here has vices, issues, and problems. But everybody in here has choices. Everybody in here has options. Everybody in here has seasons. Everybody in here has chances. Everybody in here has a time. It's what you do with it. That's why it's important that you give all your strength. Because you got to see what's possible. Read on.
Verse 28.
Yes, sir.
Would the exchangers be those with the experience and knowing they know what to do
Yes.
in this circumstance? So
Yes.
I mean, you didn't go to the help that was there.
Right. The exchangers are the ones that have experience
Right.
in flipping talents. I mean, that's a whole class within itself. These are the ones that know the value of what you have, and they know how to get the best of the spirit that you have, the best of your spirit. They can show you how to demonstrate the best of your spirit. Read on.
Verse 28. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath.
Read on.
And cast ye from the unprofitable servant.
He called this servant what?
Unprofitable.
Why is this servant unprofitable? Because he has too many excuses, and he has too much doubt, and he doesn't try hard enough. That's what makes this servant unprofitable. He listens to too many excuses. He has too much doubt, and he doesn't try hard enough. And that's what makes us unprofitable. We listen to too many excuses. We got too much doubt in our minds, and we don't try hard enough. Read on.
And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness.
Meaning there's a consequence to not having faith. There's a consequence to listening to excuses. There's a consequence to not giving my all. There's a consequence to not giving a full commitment to change. There is a consequence. But it's available. Let that go. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 1. Cast thy bread upon the waters.
Why would a person throw their bread on the water? There's got to be a deeper meaning than just throwing your bread in the water. Because he ain't saying turn your bread into fish food. Because when you take your bread and throw it in the water, either ducks gonna get it, the ducks gonna get it, or the fish gonna get it. Somebody gonna get it. So he ain't just talking about throwing bread on the water. There's got to be a deeper meaning to what he's saying. Yeah, what he's saying is you got to give an effort. And he'll explain. Read on.
Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days.
If you operate with all your strength and put yourself out there, try to make a full commitment to change. He says, and you shall find what?
And thou shalt find it after many days.
He said, meaning you'll get what you're looking for. But what does it take? It takes a full commitment. He'll explain. Read on.
Give a portion to 7.
He says, and as you throwing your bread out on the waters, meaning you're giving to 7, that means you're putting yourself in a position to be made uncomfortable, and you're extending yourself to 7. What else?
And also to 8.
Meaning you breaking bread with 7, you're breaking bread with 8, meaning you really putting yourself out there. Read on.
For thou knowest not.
He said, but you don't know. Read on.
what evil shall be upon the earth.
Because you never know who may help you in return when you need it. That means put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Stick your neck out there. Give yourself to people. Try to make an effort to change. He says, because you never know when what you did in advance will help you and be a blessing to you later. Read on.
Verse 3. If the clouds be full of rain.
He says, if the clouds be what?
If the clouds be full of rain.
He says, if the clouds be full of rain, what does the rain represent? Give me Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 26. What does the rain represent? He said, if the clouds be full of rain, what does that mean? What is he talking about? Give me Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 26.
All right, Ezekiel 34 and 26. Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 26.
Read that.
And I will make them and the places around about my hill and a blessing.
He said what?
And I will make them and the places round about my hill a blessing.
What are we talking about? A blessing. Read on.
Blessing. And I will cause the shower to come down in his season.
He says he's going to cause the shower to come down in his what?
In his season.
So that means blessings have a what?
Season.
Blessings have a season. If you understand what he's saying blessings have a season. Sometimes it's your season to be blessed. Sometimes it's not. But you never know. You never know when it's your season to receive a blessing. That's why it's important and that's why it's critical that you give all your effort. Because it may be the season for your blessings. Read on.
There shall be showers of blessing.
He said there shall be showers of what?
Blessing.
What does that rain represent?
Blessing.
That's why you got to give all your strength at what you do. Because you never know that it might be your season to be blessed. That's why when you come to the Most High and you're trying to make a change, you got to give 100% effort to change. Because it just might be your season to be blessed. This might be your opportunity for healing. That's why it's so important we give a full effort. So we're not just talking about rain. We ain't talking about showers and clouds. We're talking about the benefits of serving the Lord. Let that go and go back to Ecclesiastes 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 3. If the clouds be full of rain.
Talking about blessings. Read on.
They empty themselves upon the earth.
And when it's the right season, guess what they do?
They empty themselves upon the earth.
That's why you got to give all your effort to change. Because it might be the time the Most High decide to just bless you with everything that he has to offer you for making that change. That's why when you serve the Lord, he requires a full commitment. Because you never know what's available. All the things you ever wanted in life could come down in abundance at one point in time. But I'll never know if I don't try. Read on.
And if the tree fall toward the south.
Now we know the trees are not just talking about trees. It's talking about men.
Yeah.
It's talking about men. He said if the tree falls what?
Toward the south.
Go ahead.
Or toward the north. In the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be.
He said when men fall to the south or men fall to the north, he's talking about when men fall and become stagnant and immobile, when they stop growing. Why do men stop growing? Why, when somebody is depressed or they go into a depression, they go into nothing is possible, and they go on a downward spiral and they start giving themselves to their addiction and they don't think anything is possible? Why do men do this? Read on.
Verse 4. He that observeth the wind shall not sow.
Because they're listening to what?
He that observeth the wind shall not sow.
To sow means to plant. But if I'm too busy looking at the weather, what does the weather represent?
Distraction.
What else?
Change.
Yeah, distress.
No. The weather represents the condition.
Oh yeah. Like Peter.
The weather represents the conditions. If I'm too busy looking at the conditions that I'm in, will I ever put the work in?
Yeah.
Think about it. If I got some seeds that I'm trying to sow in a garden, I'm trying to throw some seeds on some fertile soil. But if I'm looking at the wind and I say, man, you know what? The minute I try to throw these seeds out, what's going to happen? The wind is going to blow them away. So what does that mean? What's the point? Why do men fall and stay where they are? Because they're too busy looking at what? They're too busy looking at the condition. My condition is not right for me to change. My condition will not allow me to have a better life. That's not true. Looking at the weather and looking at the conditions is nothing more than just another excuse.
So we're waiting for the perfect condition rather than just dealing with the conditions we have. Keep planting anyway.
It's that we're waiting for the perfect conditions in order to give our full effort. We don't give our full effort because the condition is not right. If you're waiting for the perfect condition in life and for you to give the Most High 100% effort, then you're not gonna do nothing at all. You ain't gonna make no changes at all. Well, wait till I get my money right. That's what some people say. Wait till I get my money right. You don't need money to change. You don't need money to change. You don't need strength to change. Doubt is in the mind. You have defective knowledge. The thing that changes the thoughts is the scriptures. I need to be rewired. I need to be renewed. I need to let somebody reprogram me. I got bad programming. And if I let somebody reprogram my mind in the way I think, then I can give 100% effort and not be looking at the weather and not saying the conditions aren't favorable for me to change right now. I'll change in about 3 months. Let me get on my feet first. You're never going to change. You'll never change listening to excuses that are condition based. I'll never make the changes. You know what you got to do? You got to change at that moment, at that time. You got to give 100% of your effort before you see results. But if I'm waiting on the right conditions, read on.
He that observeth the wind shall not sow.
You ain't going to do nothing at all. Stop looking at the condition that you're in and just say and just let it be known, I have to change today. You don't have to be in the perfect place and the things got to be perfect environment. Man, it's too chaotic. I got too many of my old friends around me. Man, you know what? Tell them people no. You control when you get healed. Because there's always an option. There's always a choice. The conditions don't have to be perfect to change. Read.
And he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap.
And if I regard the clouds, meaning, I see it's about to storm. I'm not going to get out there and pick these beans. There's no way I'm going to get out here and pick these beans right now because I'm going to get soaking wet. There's no way I'm going to harvest this wheat because there's a storm coming. What does that sound like? Excuses. Why don't people change? Excuses. They make too many excuses. They don't even realize that it might be their season. And the Most High may be having a blessing waiting for them. If they make the decision. If they remove their doubt. This is what keeps people immobile. Read on. And inactive.
Verse 5. As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit.
He says the problem is man doesn't understand the way of the what?
Spirit.
What does he mean when the Most High saying why people stay the same and they don't change? Because they don't know the way of the what?
Spirit.
They don't understand the Spirit. They don't understand how the Most High has the Spirit established. I'm uninformed about the Spirit of the Lord and when he'll bless me. You know when the Most High will bless me? When I make a full commitment. Like my kids tell me, when I tell them I'm going to buy something for them that they want. They tell me, yeah, Dad, let's go. Commit. If I tell them I'm going to buy them something, they actually tell me that. I thought it's funny. Yeah, Dad, let's go. Commit. You want me to commit to me saying I'm gonna buy you something? Commit to cleaning your damn room. I know they watching too. Won't you make a commitment on that, on them dishes? But when they want something, yeah, Dad, let's go commit. That's all the Most High want. The Most High just want a commitment. That's it. It said our people, the reason why we stay stagnant in life is because we don't know the Spirit. We don't know the way of the Spirit. All the Most High wants from you is a full 100% effort to change. Give all your effort. Give your 100% effort to change. That's all they be waiting on. We play with change because we make excuses and we look for the conditions to be right. I'll change next year when this happens. No, when I get a better job, man, you don't need a better job to change. Read.
As thou knowest not, what is the way of the Spirit?
He said, we don't know the way of what?
The Spirit.
The way the Spirit works is when you give all your strength. That's how the Spirit works. The Most High blesses effort. He blesses effort. You don't got to have money. You don't have to have strength. He blesses effort. Read on.
Nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child.
He says, a man don't, what he's saying is, when he says, a man don't know how the bones grow when a woman is pregnant with a baby. Meaning, do you always see what's going on behind the scenes? Do you know when the bones start forming, when a woman is pregnant, all you start seeing is the belly start getting bigger. But you don't know, you have no idea that what started off as a embryo, a zygote, an embryo, a cluster of cells, to a fertilized egg, to elongated body with a tail, what looks like a tail, spine, the heart starts beating, bones start forming, skin starts developing, lungs start developing. You don't see what's going on behind the scenes. That's what the Most High said, how the Spirit is. All you got to do is give 100% of your effort. You're just not going to be able to see how the Most High is working with you. But what he's expecting from you is 100% of your effort dedicated to change. And then he's got things working that you may not understand in your favor. Just like a woman that's pregnant with a baby can't see what's going on inside of her stomach. But something is going on. Something's growing. Things are happening. That's how the Spirit is. Once you start giving 100% of your effort to change, things start happening in your favor. You just don't know what. You just can't see it. But the Most High's got things developing for you. He's got things working for you. You just can't see it with your naked eyes. But things are happening for you in your favor when you decide to change, when you give 100% of your effort. That's how the Spirit works. The Spirit works for you when it's unseen, but it requires your 100% participation. And what starts happening? He compares it to a woman that's pregnant. All these things are developing and growing. You just can't see it. Why is he using it as a metaphor for the Spirit? Because you don't see how the Spirit works for you. Read that part again.
As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so.
He said, even so, what?
Thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all.
He says, neither do you know the works of who?
The works of the Most High who maketh all.
So how does the Spirit work? If we understand what we're reading, how does the Spirit work with us? What does it take for the Spirit to start working for us? Takes 100% effort? Yes.
It's about taking opportunity because, like, when you know, the scripture said to observe the opportunity, then now we're not making it about the convenience, how convenient the opportunity is, but rather, like, because of the fact that it's possible, then we're going to take advantage of the possibility and say,
Take advantage of very well said, very well spoken. The situation doesn't have to be convenient for me to make a change. I just have to make the effort and give all my strength. And I got to stop listening to excuses. What the philosophers call living in bad faith. I got to stop projecting blame and discharging blame on everybody around me and take accountability and ownership for my choices. And I got to stop telling myself I have no choice. I don't have any options. Nothing works for me. I got to get rid of that negative thinking. Once you can start doing all these things, then the Spirit starts working with you. Then the Spirit of God starts coming to you. Then he starts developing and molding your life behind the scenes in your favor. Then he got blessings on the hill waiting to be discharged and dropped down on you, to be rained down on you. People don't understand the Spirit. People know religion, they know church, but they don't know the Spirit, how the Spirit of the Most High works. They got street knowledge, they don't got spiritual knowledge. And they got defective knowledge because they got too much doubt. But then people don't know how the Spirit works. Once I start accepting the fact that things are possible, I can be healed. I can be helped. Let me stop blaming people around me. Let me stop looking at the conditions. Let me stop blaming it on trauma. Let me stop making excuses about the things I suffered in my life. Let me put all that aside and let me just give 100% of my effort to the Lord. Then he says, start working. Just like a woman got a baby growing, and when it's ready, ain't nothing you can do. It's going to come out. That baby going to come out. That's a blessing. Read that part again, that last part.
Even so, thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all.
Go ahead.
In the morning, sow thy seed.
And he says, in the morning, sow your seed. What does that mean?
Get there early. Don't sit back here and waste time and be the last person to.
Do I check the weather first before I go out there? No. He said, in the morning, do what?
So,
go sow the seed. Meaning what? Get busy. Start doing it. Don't look at the weather. Oh man, let me make sure I got the weather's right for me to go out there and sow my seed. No. Get busy changing. That means start early. That means start now. Change starts now. Don't wait for change. Get at it in the morning. That means rise and shine and start making changes. First thing in the morning. That means change takes a commitment at the beginning of the day or as soon as possible. The first light of day. Read on.
And in the evening, withhold not thine hand.
And what does it mean when he says, and in the evening, withhold not thy hand? What is he talking about?
that's not working.
Don't listen to excuses.
Yeah. You saying it?
What will keep a person to withdrawing their hand from labor, from the work? Listening to what? Excuses. What he's saying is, get busy making changes. Stop making excuses. Don't listen to no excuses. And also what he's saying is, change is an all-day process.
Yeah.
That means until you see results, you might not see results, but it might take a full day's effort. You might be at it in the morning, and you might have to get at it in the evening. That means it takes all day, but you never know when the blessing's going to come. Yes, sir. Or you got to prep for the next day. Give me 2 Timothy 4:2. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. Read that.
What verse was that? Ezekiel?
That was Ecclesiastes 11:7. And that Ezekiel was a while ago. That was 34 and 26.
2 Timothy 4:2.
Read that.
Preach the word. Be instant in season.
It said be what?
Be instant in season.
It said be instant in season. Read.
Out of season.
And out of season. What does that mean? What does that mean to be instant, in season, out of season? What does that mean? Say it again. You got to speak up. Be ready at all times. Be ready to change at all times. Don't listen to no excuses. Don't wait for the right conditions. Just be ready to change. Be ready to change at any time. Change can happen at any moment. And be ready to change at any moment. Just like he's telling that man that was impotent for 38 years, damn, you've been in this situation a long time. What's the first thing out of that man's mouth, sir? With all due respect, I ain't got no help. Oh, you're listening to excuses. You're not ready. You make too many excuses to change. That's why you're not ready. He said be instant in season and what?
Out of season.
Go ahead.
Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine.
So he said you got to put the work in. With all long suffering and doctrine, always be ready to give people the counsel of the Most High. Because change could be available at any moment. Go back and finish Ecclesiastes 11:7. We're almost done.
Then finish verse 6.
Read verse 6. I'm sorry.
Ecclesiastes 11, verse 6. In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thine hand. For thou knowest not whether shall prosper either this or that.
He says you don't know if you don't know if the blessing's going to come from the things that you did in the morning, or it was the blessing's going to come from the things you did in the evening. That means you don't know what particular work you did or what particular change you made that's actually going to cause the Spirit to start working with you. You just got to put forth the effort. You just may not know what change you made that caused you to get blessed or overcome your issue. But you have to start making changes no matter what. Read on.
Or whether they both shall be alike good.
Or what you did in the morning or in the evening, both was a benefit. You don't know, meaning you just have to take advantage of every opportunity you can to give the Most High 100% of your effort and make change. That's why it takes all your effort. Because you don't know which one is actually going to be the benefit. That's why it takes 100%. Last verse. Mark chapter 9, verse 23.
Mark chapter 9 and verse 23.
One more verse after that. Give me Matthew 19:27. Mark chapter 9, verse 23.
Yahushua said unto him, if thou canst believe.
He said what?
If thou canst believe.
If we can believe. If we stop living in bad faith. If we stop blaming people around us. If we stop making excuses. If we can give 100% our effort. If we can change our defective knowledge. Read.
All things are possible to him that believeth.
And if we can remove our defective doubt, our defective knowledge, he says, if you can believe this, all things are possible to him that what?
That believeth.
So can I change? Can I be healed? Is it too late for me? No. Do I have to be blind at the options that I have? Do I have to feed myself with there's no choices? I have to be this way. There's no hope for me. Do I have to listen to that? No. No, I don't. Christ said, if you can believe that everything is possible, it will be possible. But it takes belief. Go back and finish that St. John chapter 5. I want to finish that part with that impotent man. And read verse 7.
St. John chapter 5 and verse 7. Says, the impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Yahushua saith unto him,
what did Christ tell him? Read.
Rise, take up thy bed.
Get up and pick up your bed that you've been laying on. Read on.
And walk.
And do what?
And walk.
What did why did he tell him and gave him that order just like that?
Take action.
Because he's telling them to take action. Because if this man would stay listening to his excuses, he would have never done what? He, 38 years would have turned to 39 years.
Yeah.
And then 40 years. And then 41 years. Nothing would have ever changed. That's why he had to give him an order to take action. Get up, take your bed, and walk. Because if you listen to yourself, you're never going to do anything. You'll never know what's possible. Because a lot of things that are impossible is what you feed yourself. Last verse. Matthew chapter 19, verse 27, 28.
Matthew 19 and 27. Ready?
Yep.
Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all.
Now, Peter is getting to the point where he's saying, Lord, I made a full commitment. I've committed everything. I've given everything up to follow you. Read on.
And follow thee.
Read on.
What shall we have therefore?
What's the benefit and what am I going to get? I've made the commitment. I'm dedicated to following you, but I don't see what I'm going to get out of this. I gave up everything. I'm 100% committed. What am I going to get out of being committed? Read.
And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you.
Verily means truly. I say unto you. Read.
That ye which have followed me in the regeneration.
He says, in the regeneration, when he comes back and returns at his second coming, read on.
When the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye shall also sit upon 12 thrones.
Read.
Judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
What position will he put them in for those that make a full commitment?
Judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
He says, I'm going to put you on, you'll be on a throne, which is a position of power, and you'll be in a position of judgment. What is the benefit to making a full commitment? I get power. Remember what the Most High said to the one man that had the one talent? He says, take from the one man that he had and give it to him that what? That have 10 talents. So what did the one that had the 5 talents or the 10 talents have? They had the belief and they had the idea and the notion that they do have power. I do have power over my situation. I don't listen to the thoughts of I'm powerless. And he says, to him that hath shall be given more. That means when I convince myself that everything is possible and that I do have power over my scenario, the Most High actually blesses you with more power and more ability, simply because you believe. So there's benefits and rewards to making 100% changes. I don't have to live in bad faith. I don't have to make excuses. I don't have to listen to bad ideas. I don't have to listen to my depression. I don't have to look at my circumstances and my conditions. They don't have to be perfect. I don't have to tell myself I'm a loser. There's no help for me. There's no hope for me. I have to look at what's possible, think on it, give myself 100% to it, and then watch the Most High behind the scenes work out a blessing for me. Because that's the way of the Spirit. Any questions? And with that, we're going to say shalom. That's the end of class. We'll be back on Friday. We'll see y'all again on Friday. If you have any questions, please post them on the thread. We'd be happy to expound or repeat what we said earlier. All righty. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Shalom, everybody.